154 pages into what I am predicting is going to be a blinding 5-star YA romantasy, and I'm so excited. I am genuinely having the best time of my life right now. Like, I think I'm actually just the happiest girl. So I decided to turn on the camera and start a little reading vlog. I think I'm gonna spend the next few days just kind of mood reading with you guys, because last night I was in just the biggest reading mood, but my issue was like I wanted that feeling of being like in the middle of a book. Like, I'm deep in the story, lost in the world. So my issue was I was craving that feeling, but I wasn't in the middle of any books and just in such a big reading mood, but nothing sounded good. I literally spent like 3 hours going through all my physical TBR, starting books. I started like, not started, but I listened to like a couple of minutes of like 10 different audiobooks from my library, tried those out. Literally nothing was hitting. And then I remembered that I had this book on my physical TBR, which, yes, this is in fact just the dust jacket, because I fell asleep with it in my hands and she's nowhere to be seen this morning. So I only have the dust jacket right now. I have no idea where the book is right now. I need to find it, honestly. But The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith. Okay, this book came out earlier this year, and I remember when it came out, there was so many people talking about it. I think because it was like the Fairy Loot book or something like that. And I got it because I was like, ooh, that sounds good. It was like people were loving this book because it's like the Selection series, which I've never read, but apparently it's like The Bachelor, like it's like a marriage competition type thing. I don't know, never read that, but I've heard a lot of people like it. But they were saying that it's like the Selection series, but like in a world where like fairies and magic exist, which immediately piqued my interest because I love Regency era stories. I honestly haven't read too many like Regency era books, but like Regency era TV shows and movies are like some of my favorite types of movies and TV shows. Honestly, I need to read more books in the Regency era because this is proving to me that like it's always gonna hit for me. Like, it's simply always going to hit for me. So anyway, I picked this book up last night with the intention of just reading like the first chapter to see if I can get into it, and I could not stop reading. I literally could not put it down. I read to page 154 and fell asleep while reading the book. I really wonder where my book went. But anyway, so I woke up this morning. So I guess actually I didn't read to 154 last night because I woke up this morning and read a little bit longer, but I literally like had to force myself to stop reading because I unfortunately have like other stuff to do today. So I'm using this as my motivation to get all of my boring stuff done that I don't want to do, aka the laundry, cleaning the kids' bedroom, cleaning my room, cleaning the house, just cleaning, basically cleaning and organizing. I don't want to do it. I literally have zero desire in my body to do any of that, but I really need to. So I'm literally holding this book hostage until I get all that stuff done so that I can have it as my reward, because I'm just enjoying it so much. Like, to the point where last night I think I was like 85 pages in and I didn't realize I was that far in. Like, I literally felt like I had read a chapter, which is so crazy for me. But I looked and I saw how many pages in I was, and I literally had the thought like, oh no, it's gonna be over too soon. And like, I don't want it to be over. Like, I just, it's so good. I can't even wrap my brain around like how much I'm enjoying this. So basically, if you don't know what The Rose Bargain is about, it's basically set in Regency era London, and in this world there's like a fairy queen who had become queen like 400 years ago or something like that. And every single year, obviously, there's like the start of the season, which in like Regency era, if you've watched Bridgerton, it's like the dating season. Like, you go out, put yourself on the market, basically. Once you like come of a certain age, you can like enter your first season or whatever, and that is where you kind of court people and try and like find your match and things like that. So every single year, obviously, there is the season that opens. All the people looking to get married will go out on the market, they'll have balls, all that stuff, try and find their match. But another thing that happens in this world, because there is the fairy queen, is once you turn, I believe, 18, you are able to go and visit the queen. There's like a couple month period where she does this, but you can visit the queen starting a certain day of the year and go and ask for a bargain. And you can literally bargain for anything. Some people bargain for land, some people bargain for better memories, some people bargain for different looks, like if you want longer hair or a prettier face or straighter teeth, things like that. And she will like bargain things for you. Like, there's this one character that for her bargain, I think she traded like straighter teeth or something like that, and in return she can never turn left again, so she can like only take right turns, which I think is just so funny. But some people bargain like both of their big toes, or like the queen will take half of their pinky. What are some other things people have taken? One of the characters, what was his bargain? I think he bargained land for like all of his childhood memories. There's like really no rhyme or reason to the queen's bargaining. Like, when people ask for it, it's literally just like on a whim. She just decides like whatever. So some people's bargains end up being better than others, I think. But anyway, that's kind of how it works. And so we're following our main character who is entering her first season. She's trying to get a good match to save her family from financial crisis. They're are like very close to losing their home, so she really needs to secure a good match so that her family can have like money again and not lose their house and everything like that. But this year is very special because the Fairy Queen's son is entering the season as well for the first time, and he's entering a little bit earlier than people ever expected him to, so everyone's like shocked that he's like on the market now. And the queen basically says that any of the girls who are currently here to like join the season have the opportunity to compete for her son's hand in marriage. However, the stipulation is whoever signs up for the competition for the chance to win her son's hand in marriage, any girl who loses must agree to never remarry, which for a woman in the Regency era is like a death sentence. You are basically giving up your life's hopes and dreams if you lose that, because without a marriage in that time period and in that society, you have nothing going for you. Basically, you can't really make that much money. You like need a husband in this time in order to have any type of successful life. So it's a really big thing to wager. So I think it was like 26 people ended up entering the competition, and you just get straight into the story so quickly. I love the setting, the magic, the characters. It's like been the perfect balance of like jaw-dropping, like oh my god, it's like a little bit gory but not like, I don't even know how to explain it because I don't want to like spoil literally anything, because I went into this pretty blind. Like I haven't really watched any reading vlogs of people reading this because I knew I wanted to read it and I wanted to go into it pretty blind. But it has like such good humor, the romance. I think there's like a love triangle. Not quite sure on that yet. I kind of read into things because I always want there to be a love triangle, but I'm pretty sure there's gonna be like a little love triangle and I'm eating it up. Just every single bit of this, I'm just enjoying myself so much, and I'm literally only, what percent is that? Oh my god, I'm already 41% through. I don't want it to be over. I don't think the second book comes out until April or May of 2026. And I don't know if this is just a duology or a series. I really hope it's a series because, well, depending on how this ends, I guess. I just am enjoying it so much and I was like just craving this. I feel like the style of writing is kind of giving, like I know people say the selection series because of like the premise of the book with like the marriage competition and things like that, but I feel like vibes wise, it is reminding me so much of how I felt whenever I read the Cruel Prince trilogy, because that in the same way, just so easy to get into. The writing is just so quick and entertaining. I feel like it has like the similar kind of fairy archetype where it's like they can't tell lies and they speak in riddles and things like that, which I love so much, so deeply. Ever since finishing the Cruel Prince trilogy, I've been looking for something that gives me similar vibes, and this is completely living up to that for me. Like it's just so good. So I feel like it reminds me of the Cruel Prince trilogy in vibes, not really like storyline obviously because the Cruel Prince trilogy is like its own thing, but I feel like vibes wise very, very much Cruel Prince. And then also it's kind of reminding me of how I felt whenever I read Heartless Hunter as well. Like I guess if Heartless Hunter, the Cruel Prince, and the Selection series, which again I've never read, but I guess maybe if all those 3 books had a little baby, maybe it would be this. I don't know, but it's so good. I'm having the best time and I wanted to start a reading vlog because of that, because it's just so good so far. So we're gonna probably just spend the next few days mood reading because I'm in such a big reading mood, but not a generic reading mood. Like I'm in a big reading mood, but like last night it took me 3 hours to pick a book. But then once I picked, I was glad I took my time because I clearly made a good choice. So it's working out for me. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to be holding this over my head in order for me to get everything that I need to get done today. So I will be listening to a different audiobook. They do have the audiobook for this on, no, not Libby, Hoopla. I think they had it on Hoopla, but I don't really want to listen to the audiobook because I'm enjoying it so much. I think I just want to like solely read this one. So I am not going to be picking that one up on audio. I think instead I'm going to either listen to The Ballad of Never After, I think is the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. I recently read Once Upon a Broken Heart. I did another Read It or Unhaul It video, episode 2. That's actually up on my Patreon if you guys are interested in joining the book club and seeing that. But in that video, Once Upon a Broken Heart is one of the books that I pulled from my Read It or Unhaul It jar, and I really, really enjoyed that. And those are always really easy to listen to. I listened to the whole Caraval trilogy, so I might listen to that while I get stuff done today. I also am tempted to start the next Dungeon Crawler Carl book because it's, I think I'm on book 4 in that series now. I forget what the next one's called. It's either The Butcher's Masquerade or The Gate of Feral Gods. I think it's The Butcher's Masquerade or something like that. I don't know. I'll put it on screen. So I might start that, but I also have been trying to prioritize books that I put on my fall TBR because that TBR was more so like books I wanted to read in September, October, November. So maybe I'll look through that TBR as well and see if I can find any audiobooks for those through my library. Anyway, that was such a big rambling session. I'm just in such a good mood, I think, because I am enjoying this book. book so much and I was just craving it so badly, and I'm so excited to have found a book that is giving me that feeling that I was wanting so bad, and I was so excited to tell you guys about it. So I'm going to get all of my cleaning done as fast as possible. It's going to take me all day long just because I have like weeks worth of laundry I need to put away. I need to organize all of the kids' toys and not just like put them away. They need to be like separated and organized again. So it's gonna take me a long time, but this is my sole motivation to get anything done today. So I'm gonna go make a cute little fall coffee. I just got a cute little fall mug the other day at TJ Maxx with my mom. So I'm gonna go make a cozy little iced coffee in my new mug and listen to an audiobook and get all the stuff done so that I can get to what I really want to be doing here, which is reading The Rose Bargain. Hello you guys. It's been a few days. I feel like you can look at me and see how tired I am, and there is a reason for that. It's so stupid, but I will explain. So it's been 2 days exactly since we talked last. In those 2 days, I spent one of those days finishing up cleaning because despite the fact that I was literally cleaning until like, I think I finally finished cleaning, showering, and got in bed that night at like 12 or something, or like 12. Maybe it was like 12:16, 11:16. I don't know. It was really late. Despite the fact that it took me that long, I still had an entire full day, almost. It was like pretty much a full day of cleaning the next day to do as well. I have a ton of reading updates because I have finished a book, almost finished another, and I'm still in the middle of The Rose Bargain as well. I also got some really exciting book mail that I'm so excited to show you guys. I did open it already, but I'm really excited to show you guys the books that came. And then the next day, I completely lost to ADHD. I'll explain that further in a second, but first I want to do the book updates, and I think I want to start with the book mail actually because I'm really excited to show you guys these. So the other day I got a package from Eternal Embers, and I had ordered their collab with Heather McLary. I'm so excited about these because literally Heather McLary has made me want to read a Mariana Zapata book so bad. She literally loves her books, and so many people say that she's like the queen of an absolute slow burn, and also the queen of like making really grumpy men but like making you love them. So I'm so excited to give these a try. It's so funny because I had seen that they were being picked up traditionally and getting new covers, and I was already considering buying these books because they were getting new covers and being like traditionally published. I was like, oh, now's the perfect time to get them, add them to my TBR, read them. But then literally right as I was considering buying those, they announced that they were going to do a collab with Heather McLary and do these 2 books, and I think that the covers are so cute. Like, these are so cute. So I'm so excited to read these. The first one that I have is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. This is the front, the spine, and then on the back. And the back just says, "Home is where you are. I would go anywhere for you if you wanted me there." That sounds so cute. I'm so excited to read this. This one is a sports romance. The male main character is a football player, and the female main character is his like, well, I guess was because she like quits at the beginning of the book, but his assistant. So she like works for him and stuff. So I'm really excited for this one. I've actually already started this one. I got maybe like 70 pages in, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I feel like so far the way that Mariana Zapata writes and reads, it feels very much like watching a TV show because there's a lot of just like dialogue and like very, I guess, like regular moments. Like she doesn't necessarily just boom boom bam cut to the chase. Like you get to see a lot of conversations, which I really like. I'm a big conversation person. So far I'm really enjoying this one. I was so excited to start it whenever I got it in the mail. So yeah, we have this one first, and then the other one we have All Roads Lead Here. This is more of a small town romance, I believe. I don't really know anything else about the plot besides it's a small town romance, and it's about a girl who is kind of like forced to go back to her hometown, which she really doesn't want to do. But when she gets there, I think she's maybe living in, I don't remember why. Maybe her mom has passed away, so she had to go back to her childhood house or something like that. But while she's there, she kind of starts interacting with her grumpy neighbor. I guess, and things develop from there. But yeah, this is the front of this one. I think it's, like I said, so cute and cozy. This is the spine and then the back, and on the back of this one, the quote says, "I loved him, this quiet man who took care of the people around him in little ways and little actions that meant everything." I'm so excited to read this. I think that these editions are so cute. I honestly hope that these sell well enough for them to make editions of some of her other books as well. So yeah, got these in the mail. So excited about those. I still am waiting on my copy of Left of Forever from Eternal Embers. I'm trying to be patient, but that's literally like my favorite romance book of all time right now. So I'm like, I need that edition on my shelf, but very happy to have gotten these at least. Going back to some reading updates. So I believe it was, what day is it today? Okay, so today's Friday. I think the last time that I recorded anything was Tuesday night. So I had spent all day Tuesday cleaning. I actually ended up finishing The Ballad of Never After on Tuesday. I was literally cleaning for so long that I listened to the entirety of this book. Stephanie Garber's books are always just such a fast read and such a fast listen. I don't know what it is about, like, I guess the way that the story progresses, it just goes so fast to where it's like all of a sudden it's like the end and you're like, how are we already here? Because it feels like we just started. So I did finish this one, and this book, this is the very first 5-star Stephanie Garber book. This was so good. This was so good. It was everything that I wanted and needed. And the way that this ended was absolutely criminal. It was literally so crazy. I ended the book, immediately went to my library and checked out the next book and started it within like 2 minutes. Like I was like, there's no way I'm waiting. I'm going to go straight into the next book because that was, it was so painful. It was so crazy. But yeah, I loved this book, everything about it. I loved where the plot went. I loved the romance. I loved the magic. Like literally everything about it was perfection. It was so fun, so easy, so quick and fast paced. Yeah, I just loved it. This is definitely my favorite Stephanie Garber book at the moment, but I am also in the middle of the third book. Actually, I'm pretty close to the end, which I can't believe. I'll get into that in a second. But yeah, I did finish The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber, and it was so good. 5 stars, having a great time. So then, like I said, right after finishing The Ballad of Never After, I went straight into A Curse for True Love because the ending was just so crazy that I was like, there's absolutely no way that I'm gonna voluntarily wait to go into the next book. I actually cannot imagine reading that book and then realizing I had like over a year to wait for the next book. That would have been so horrible. I feel so lucky that I was able to just go straight into the next book. I had already had the ebook rented on my Libby, so that was really nice as well because it was just like sitting there waiting for me, already available, so that worked out really nicely. But yeah, I went into this. I ended up listening to maybe 2 or 3 chapters of this that night, and then obviously towards like midnight I crawled into bed nice and clean and I opened up my Kindle and I read The Rose Bargain. I think I ended up reading about 40 pages of this that night because now I'm on 198 and I think I started on like 150 something. So yeah, I read like 40 something pages. I'm not doing the exact math, but 40 something pages of this before I just fell asleep and couldn't stay up any longer. So yeah, I haven't read any more of this since then. I don't really have any other updates on this besides it's still going great. I'm still having an amazing time, and I honestly wish that I have read more of this at this point. But yeah, nothing really that I can update on because I don't want to get into like plot specifics and spoilers, but I'm still having an absolute great time with this one. Then Wednesday, like I said, I still had quite a bit of cleaning to do. I feel like I finished the main base layer of everything on Tuesday whenever I listened to The Ballad of Never After. I just had some laundry to finish up. I need to like go around and mop the house and kind of just like go back through and do a lot of the like deep cleaning things. So that is whenever I listened to A Curse for True Love, and I'm currently on chapter 35. That's page 293. When I tell you I was in shock how far I made it into the book because I was cleaning and just paying absolutely no attention to how far in the audiobook I had made it. Like I literally was just disappearing into the world and not paying attention to the time, how much I've made it through, literally anything like that. So I remember I had finished everything that I was doing and I was like, okay, let me check how far in the audiobook that I am because I'm sure like I'm close to the halfway point at this point. Like I have been cleaning for a really long time. And it literally said I had like an hour left in the audiobook and I was like, genuinely in shock because it just did not feel like I had read this much of the book. So I feel like, because I know that with this book there was a lot of complaints because people had waited a really long time for this book, obviously, and of course with the way that The Ballad of Never After ends, it's like there's a lot of things that you need answers to and there's like a huge issue going on that like needs to be solved. So I feel like if I were sitting down reading this, maybe I would be a little bit more irritated with the plot, but I think think because I listened to it, first of all, back to back with the second book to this book, and also because I was listening to it while doing other things, so it's not like I was paying attention to like how much farther we had left in the book to like resolve things. I am enjoying it a little bit more, and I guess, I don't know if I can explain this right, but I guess what I'm trying to say is like once I realized like this is how much I have left to go in the book, then I was like, okay, well hold on, because there's a lot more that I need to see and experience in the romance side of this book. Like I feel like the plot side of everything is going good. Once I realized that this is how much left I have, I'm like, wait, that's not enough time. Like that's not enough time for what I like want and need to happen with our two main characters. I just feel like, why has that not already happened yet? Like it's so sad. I don't want the book to end and the series to end without getting that, like everything that I'm wanting from that. So I feel like I do see that aspect, but also it's been a little bit of a different reading experience for me, obviously, because like I said, I didn't have a year gap between reading the second and third book like a lot of people did if they were reading them as they were published. I feel like that always makes it so much harder because you build up this expectation and you build up all this anticipation for the next story, whereas I'm like, okay, it's over now, let me go straight into the next book, if that makes sense. But I'm really, really enjoying myself. The romance is so good. Like it's so good. It's YA, so like there's no spice, there's no like anything like that, but somehow the characters are still like eliciting this emotion in me where I'm like, I need you two to love each other. I need you two to end up together. It just like all of the little things, there's a lot of like little breadcrumbs of other things that are really, really meaningful and deep rooted in their relationship, I guess, which I really, really like. That is one thing that I really like about YA. I am like such a spice stan. First of all, I love spice. I think that spice can have such a deeper meaning in books than just the sexual experience. I feel like it can show emotional growth to the characters, build such a deep emotional connection to the characters, and just overall have like such a bigger meaning than just, again, like the sexual actions. But one thing I do really appreciate in YA is that even when there is no spice, there are so many other ways to also build that emotional connection or just like show the level of deepness that the two characters are connected, if that makes sense. Obviously, if I had to choose, I would choose adult romance. Like I really just enjoy spice and that whole aspect that it adds to the relationship, but I think that that's also just because it makes the relationship feel a little bit more mature as well whenever you get to see people responsibly and respectfully kind of explore those things together. But I'm really, really enjoying it in this book, seeing all the little like nuanced things that the characters see or notice or experience or feel. Just, I love that so much because I feel like it really builds into the tension as well, and just, oh, I'm literally just gnawing at the bars of my enclosure for them to just get it together. I need at least 50 pages to see them happy and together, and I don't think that that dream is going to come true, unfortunately, but I'm hoping and praying and wishing and dreaming. So those are kind of my book updates. We got 2 in the mail. Finished The Ballad of Never After. I have about 90 pages left in this book, which is so, I'm nervous about how this one's gonna end, honestly. So 90 pages left in this one, and then I have, I think, like 200 pages left in this one. So I am eager to get through these two, and just, I need to like see what's gonna happen in the plot at this point because it's been a few days and I'm like, I've just been sitting on it, and I need it to come to a conclusion so that I can have answers. I already know though the Rose Bargain, because there is another book coming out next year, so I already know it's gonna end on a cliffhanger. If you read any type of romantasy, fantasy, you know, like it's just gonna happen. So I'm trying to like prepare myself for something crazy to happen because I have seen that the ending of this book leaves people shook. So excited for that. I love books that end like that, even though it is so hard to wait. That is something that I really, really enjoy, and something that I have enjoyed more and more, especially like becoming a reader so recently. I feel like when I first started reading, there wasn't a lot of books that were still coming out that I was into where like I could be a part of the next book release. And so the longer that I've been reading and kind of reading books that are currently coming out, it's been really, really fun to get to experience like book releases with other readers. I feel like that is its own special thing about being part of the book community and being a reader, is getting to like experience book launches and book releases with fellow readers. It's like, I don't even know how to explain that experience with anybody, but it's so fun to get to like experience that with everybody. So I'm very excited for when the next book comes out because I will be able to like be in that anticipation and and excitement with the bookish community whenever it comes out. But yeah, so really excited to finish those. Yesterday, I lost the entire day to ADHD, okay? Completely on accident, and I honestly haven't had a day like this in so long where my like hyperfixation just completely takes over my life, and I feel like there is a word for it and I cannot remember it, but it's like, maybe it's like executive dysfunction, or I was in like ADHD paralysis almost, but it was like my ADHD paralysis led to me finding something to be distracted by, and then I just like hyperfixated on that to like an unhealthy point, honestly. And I want to talk about it because I feel like a lot of times I mention that I have ADHD, but I don't really go into depth about a lot of the things that I deal with having ADHD, because I don't want it to be like negative, obviously, but a lot of things are really hard to deal with, especially in a world where a lot of people just don't know about different things you may deal with ADHD, so it's not fully understood, and it's really hard to explain to someone who doesn't have ADHD because it looks so different on the outside than what it feels like. But yeah, I was kind of stuck in a paralysis, which if you don't know, it's really hard because you want to get up, you know you need to get up, and you have a whole list of things that you internally have so much anxiety about needing to get up and do, but like you just physically can't do it. And because of that, at least for me, it causes me to spiral and just feel really honestly bad about myself, feel really lazy, feel like, why can't I just get up and do this simple thing? Like something is wrong with me. And so it kind of spirals like that. And then instead of getting up and doing something about it, it honestly just makes it all worse. And it's literally like an ADHD spiral. So I was kind of stuck in that. And then I think I got a notification from Spotify or something like that, and I clicked on it, which as an ADHD girly is apparently just a death sentence, clicking on notifications. I clicked on the notification and it was telling me that like I was in like the top % of Ariana Grande listeners, so I could like go onto this website and click what my favorite songs were and rank them or something like that. And I was like, okay, like I'll do that, fine, that's fun. So I went on there and it was like showing me all of her different albums, and like I was going through and picking songs, and that sparked an entire hyperfixation rope, I like to call it, because I'm following the rope wherever it leads me. So after doing that, I then proceeded to listen to every single Ariana Grande album and all of my favorite songs from each of the albums, because I love Ariana Grande. She's one of my favorite artists and has been forever. So I went through, listened to every single one of her albums, did that for, I'm not even kidding, probably like 5 hours. It was excessive. I did that, and then after doing that, I then followed the rope over to YouTube and watched so many of her music videos for all the different albums. Then after doing that, I followed the rope on over to TikTok, and I ended up watching a couple more hours worth of TikToks about her journey to doing Wicked and just literally everything, like all of her old performances and iconic moments and sad moments, and just like literally a deep dive into history, except for it wasn't even like a good deep dive. It was like a pointless deep dive where I was just like watching the archives for no reason. So then by that point, it was probably about 9 p.m. and I had been in my hyperfixation probably a good 8 or 9 hours at that point, just being completely honest. So then at that point, I followed the rope on over to Netflix, where I discovered the Cat's Eye documentary, and because I was already in this like music hyperfixation and Ariana Grande hyperfixation, it kind of just clicked perfectly in my brain. So then I started that, and when I started it, I didn't realize that that was a documentary on how the group Cat's Eye was formed. I don't know what I thought it was, honestly. I was trying to figure it out, but then once I figured out that that is how the group Cat's Eye was formed, my brain just decided that I cannot rest until I finish this documentary. When my brain decided that, I was not aware what it was signing me up for, because it was 8 episodes long and every episode was almost an hour long. So I proceeded to watch 8 hours worth of a documentary about Cat's Eye. And the thing is I feel like hyperfixation sounds fun and great, and sometimes it is, sometimes it can accidentally be beneficial. That's why with ADHD, like as I've gotten older, I've really tried to embrace a lot of things that I honestly hated about myself and saw as negatives, and see the positives in them, and see, you know, how I can turn it around and kind of make my ADHD work for for me, but unfortunately it's just like unavoidable that that's not always going to be the case. And it's honestly times like these that do make me consider going and trying out medication for ADHD, even though that's something I've been afraid of for so long and I've never tried because of my anxiety around trying medication for ADHD. But the reason I say that is because by this point I felt so stuck in the hyperfixation, like I could not let it go. And because my brain had decided like I need to see this to the end of the rope, I need to follow to the end of the rope, and for my brain it just decided that once I finish this documentary, okay, that will close the loop, we'll be at the end of our rope, and then you can go to bed. That did not happen until 5:30 this morning, and I was so tired that I was like, I had a headache, I was feeling nauseous, like I was feeling sick, but it was like I could not go to sleep because my brain would not turn off about it. Like my brain would not accept sleep until I felt, I don't even know how to explain it, and I feel like it sounds crazy, but I'm just trying to be honest and open in case there are other people who also go through the same thing, you know? Like I feel like ADHD is such a universal experience but also such an individual experience at the same time, which is kind of contradicting to say, but I truly feel like everyone has their own kind of unique struggles with ADHD while also kind of being able to relate to each other and connect with the struggles. So I'm sorry if this makes no sense to you if you don't have ADHD and I just sound crazy, but if you do have ADHD, just know you're not alone. Know that you're not crazy, you're not lazy. It happens to everyone, and that's something I'm still trying to remind myself. It's not just me, it's not. So anyway, I lost the entire day yesterday to ADHD. I lost the battle, but I'll win the war. Hopefully. So anyway, I am so tired because of that. All that to say, that's why I look like this and sound like this and feel like this, is because I just could not stop yesterday. I am determined not to lose my day today. I'm already off to a better start by picking up the camera and continuing on with this vlog and kind of getting back into my book. So I am proud of myself about that. I was feeling honestly really, really bad about that yesterday and like being hard on myself because I was, you know, just wasting so much time doing nothing when I could have been being productive and like working on this vlog or just enjoying myself reading or just doing something better for myself. Obviously, I don't think it's bad to listen to music or watch documentaries. The key is like in moderation. I feel like with ADHD sometimes it's so hard to do those things in moderation because my brain is so attached to the dopamine that I'm getting from it that it's like, you know. Anyway, that was a big old ADHD rant, but that is my reality. That's something I live with. Honestly, that hasn't happened to me that bad in a really long time. I feel like because I've been trying to be really on top of like building routines and like being more productive day to day and not letting myself fall into that, but I fell into it yesterday, but we've made it back. So today I have no plans other than to read these two books. I have finished all of my cleaning. Tonight I have a few friends coming over for a little surprise birthday party for Mark, so I really would love to finish these before then. Honestly, it's 12 right now. I think they're gonna come over around like 6 or 6:30, so I might be able to finish both these before then. So I feel like I could probably finish both of these before then, especially like I said, because I have finished all the cleaning that I needed to do and the house is set, so now we can kind of just have a day to just zen and enjoy the clean house, enjoy these books, and have a cozy little day together. And it's also supposed to rain all weekend. Like it's been rainy yesterday, today, and for the next 2 or 3 days it's supposed to be rainy, which in Arizona is like genuinely Christmas. So I have no reasons not to have an amazing cozy day and weekend reading with you guys. So I am going to, I think, first finish up A Curse for True Love and then go straight into The Rose Bargain, and I will see you guys in a little bit for some more reading updates. Hello. It has once again been multiple days. Is that light too bright? Is that better? It has been multiple days once again. It's just, this is turning into like a just chronically ADHD mood reading vlog, which hey, accurate representation for my life. But the last time that I filmed, I finished A Curse for True Love, and then I also got super far into The Rose Bargain. I think I literally only have like 20 pages left, and I stopped because I was reading and like the story was just, it was going off. Okay, the plot was getting crazy. I was literally just like hooked and flying through it, and then I realized that I didn't have that much left in the book and I hadn't updated you guys guys in forever, and I didn't want to finish it without you guys because I am just having such a good time. So I made myself stop, but then I haven't picked it up in the last few days that I haven't been recording, and it's just been slowly eating at me inside. So like I have to finish this tonight. I like need to know what happens, even though I'm kind of like sad because I looked it up and this is supposed to be a duology and the next book doesn't come out until like early next year. So that's gonna be painful. But at this point, I'm so far into the story, and like the chapter specifically that I stopped on, something crazy just happened, and then I like clicked to the next chapter and I was like, I need to stop. But it was so hard. So I'm really excited to finish this. But really quickly, I want to kind of give a little recap on A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber, because like I said, I did finish this one. I finally finished the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, which I can't believe because again, this is just one that I have been looking at on my shelves longingly for like a year and a half ever since I bought it, and I took so long to read Stephanie Garber's books, but I'm so glad that I did. And honestly, I feel like I am glad that I just waited for the right moment, because these books, they truly hit. They truly hit. I feel like at the end of the series now, like both Caraval and Once Upon a Broken Heart, I feel like I can very confidently say I highly recommend reading Caraval first, even though honestly, if I'm comparing the two series, I much prefer the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy to the Caraval trilogy. But I just feel like the Caraval trilogy gives so much better, I don't even want to say world building, because it's not like world building in typical fantasy like definitions, I guess, but I just mean like I feel like you get such a better background on the lore of the world and the lore on the no, they're not gods, are they? I don't know, the magical beings in the world. Like, I don't know, I just feel like I was able to get into this series so quickly because I had already gone through Caraval. And I also feel like with Jax's character, because he is in Caraval, and granted, like I know a lot of people's argument for like not needing to read Caraval before Once Upon a Broken Heart is like he's only in the books like a tiny bit, like really his character is not a huge thing in the Caraval trilogy, but I truly feel like that gave more background than you would realize, or more depth to his character than you would realize. At least for me personally, I felt like way more connected to his character because I had also seen him in the previous series. But yeah, I loved this so much. I do understand people's frustration with this, but I feel like it's kind of a difference in like I didn't wait for this book to come out. Like I was able to go straight from the second book to the third book, and also I listened to it on audio, so like it just went really fast. But I will say, like, I get where people are saying where it's like I wanted more from it, because the way that the story is written, it's like you're going on an adventure, so you don't really get that like closure until like literally the last chapter or two, and it kind of like takes through the whole book to like get to that moment. And after the way that the second book ended, it's like, you know, and the second book, superior, okay? I think that that is definitely my favorite in the trilogy, but this was still so good. My final rating for this book is going to be 5 stars as well. Both the second and the third book in this trilogy were both 5 stars for me. I loved them so much. I just loved the second one slightly more because of the romance specifically in that book. It had me actually like foaming at the mouth. It was so good. But this was so good too. It had so many cute moments. And I think at this point in the trilogy, like by the time I got to the third book, I just loved the characters and the romance and their backstory and everything that they had been through so much that I just was purely enjoying myself throughout this entire book. So that is kind of my final thoughts on A Curse for True Love. I'm kind of sad that it's like over, but also I'm just like so glad that I finally read the trilogy after it's sitting on my shelves for literally so long. So moving on to The Rose Bargain. The updates for this book have been so weird because all I keep saying is it's so good. Like it literally is just so good, but I don't really know what I can say without spoiling things. I don't know if I mentioned actually the last time that I talked about this book, I don't know if I mentioned the fact that it's about, no I did. Okay. I've been filming this vlog for so long, I can't even remember what I said. I think the only thing that I told you guys about this plot was that it's basically a bunch of girls are entering the season, and this year the prince is like on the market, and so in order to compete for his hand in marriage, you basically have to sign a blood binding magical deal. Any of the girls that are not chosen to be his wife basically can never remarry again, and all this stuff. Okay, so that's all going on, but while they're like staying at the palace and like doing this competition for his hand, the Fae Queen has been putting on like secret trials for all the girls to go through, and they're honestly like they're so like cruel and manipulative, and like they all have some type of magical element, and it literally is like psychological torture. I feel like that aspect has been just so like interesting and entertaining. I always really love when there's like competitions or trials or things like that in fantasy books, and alongside that there's like kind of like a little love triangle thing. I don't know, this is just so good. It's literally so good. it's like a love triangle, but it's like not, but it is. But it's like not, but it definitely like is, because there's like little hints on the one side and then there's definitely something on the other side, but then it's like you go back and forth and it just, yeah. It's so good. It's actually so good. I think one of the last things that I read, I'm pretty sure I posted an update on my Goodreads as well. I was reading at like 2:30 in the morning and I had been crying for like 3 chapters straight. And I literally like could not stop reading. I was so emotional. I was so like, I just felt so sad for a couple of the characters and like what was happening in the book. And for some reason in books, like with movies, I will cry guaranteed at least once every single movie. I don't know if like with movies, it's like the combination of there being like music with it and also like seeing the actors like whenever they get emotional. I feel like I'm a very big, if you cry in front of me, I'm going to cry. I cannot hold it in. I'm like in real life instances such a big crier. I cry at everything. I cry all of the time. But with books specifically, for some reason, like I don't cry nearly as often. Like I get really emotional. I feel the feelings. I was talking to my cousin about this too. I don't know if it's like my delayed processing because of ADHD, but I feel like with books, I'm not even like a very outwardly expressive person. Like I'll be reading a really intense scene and in my head, I'm like gasping, literally gnawing at the pages, like freaking out. And maybe like 5% of the time that will ever be shown on the outside, because on the outside, this is me. Just blank face and silent while I'm like dying inside in my mind. It's the weirdest thing. So I feel like anytime that a book elicits that amount of tears and that amount of like visceral physical feelings for me, like that's how I know it's hitting, because it takes a lot with books specifically to get me there. I also think another thing with books that kind of like stops me from crying is like a lot of times when something super emotional is happening, it's like, or I guess not emotional, when something like super intense is happening, like if it's a battle scene and like say one of our favorite characters is about to die, my brain doesn't want to stop to take the time to accept that our favorite character is dying, because I'm trying to finish getting through the scene so that I can get answers. Like I need to know what happens. There's no time to cry right now. There's no time to freak out, because I need to keep going and figure out what is going to happen. Like I feel like that's more so what happens. I do feel like the things that end up making me cry more are like conversations, things like that where the scenes are slower, because I think that my brain has more time to like take in the emotional aspect of it, versus like I said, like battle scenes where I'm like, no, but there's more to figure out right now. Like there's so much going on. I literally cannot stop to cry. I guess maybe that is the difference. I have no idea, but if that happens to you as well, let me know, because sometimes I feel so weird. Like I watch so many other like booktubers and YouTubers and I feel like they all give such good reactions while reading, and it's like my brain doesn't do that. Like I don't know. I kind of just like disappear physically and enter my mind while I'm reading, and then once I close the book, I like process what I just read and I'm like, oh my god. But while I'm reading, that does not like come across at all, like hardly ever. Sometimes it does. If it's like really got me, then I'll like sit up. I think that actually happened to me while I was reading this book, now that I think about it. I was like, again, like 1 in the morning. You can tell I'm like a midnight reader, okay? It was like 1 in the morning. Mark was like dead asleep next to me. The dogs were in the bed and I was just like reading, and I literally shot straight up, and then I proceeded to read stiff for like 20 minutes because I was just like, what just happened? But yeah, so that's kind of where we are with this book. It's so good. It's gonna be 5 stars. Guaranteed gonna be 5 stars. Honestly, this is probably going to be added to my list of favorite YA. Depending on how the second book goes, of course. Hopefully it doesn't absolutely flop compared to this one, because I liked it so much, but I have very, very high hopes. This is also like how I was feeling whenever I read Heartless Hunter and that duology, where they were both 5 stars for me. I loved it so much. I actually cannot wait to reread those, and I feel the same way about this one, because it was just so good from start to, well, I won't say to finish, because I still have 20 pages left of this one. But anyway, so this is what we're going to be finishing tonight. Like I said, I only have like 20 pages left. In the few days that we have been gone, very ADHD, very chaotic. One, I got book mail, and you guys are never going to believe this, okay? Because this literally happened in a different vlog with the bookish box. Remember in the beginning of the video when I was like, I really wish that I had my Left of Forever copy. I have no idea when that's gonna ship. Guess what got here today? When I tell you, I was like, there's no way, because I swear a couple of months ago in a vlog, I was talking about how I was waiting for my Crowns of Nyaxia bookish box editions. They were taking so long to ship. I think I waited like 8 months for those or something like that. Maybe it was even longer. Like it just kept getting pushed back, and that was the very first time that I had ever mentioned it in a vlog. Like I've just been patiently, quietly waiting. I never complained outwardly. I just was like, you know what? I'll be an adult and I'll just wait patiently and understand that things happen. The first time I opened my mouth, it literally got shipped out like that day. And then that happens again with this vlog, where I mention in a video, I'm waiting for the edition, and then it comes in the mail. Like that cannot be coincidence. That's so weird, especially because It happened 2 times, and it was both when I was waiting for a book from the same company. Like, what are the chances of that? That's actually crazy. So anyway, let me grab it real quick so I can show you guys. Okay, so I took it out of the box earlier, but I haven't taken any like close looks because I wanted to do it with you guys because I literally just couldn't believe that it came. Like, what are the chances? This is the... No, this is not Bookish box. Okay, hold on. Rewind the tapes. Let's just completely scratch everything that I said because actually, I'm pretty sure this is Eternal Embers. So I guess it's not that big of a coincidence because it didn't happen with the same company, and now all of a sudden everything that I have said feels so dumb. But anyway, this is the Eternal Embers edition of Left of Forever. If you're new here, Left of Forever is my all-time favorite contemporary romance at the moment. It's so good. It's a second chance marriage between high school sweethearts who had a kid at a very young age, lost each other along the way, and then found their way back to each other. It is truly, I'm still searching for a romance that meets this market. It just is so good. So whenever I saw that they were making the special edition, I was like, yeah, it's not even a question. I'm gonna get it. So this is the front, the spine, and then on the back it has a little quote and the tag. Oh my god. Even just thinking about this book gives me like butterflies. It's so good. I'm counting down the days until I can reread this. I genuinely think this is going to be one that I end up like rereading the same time every single year. I'm pretty sure I read this in like March or April. The quote on the back says, "I'll fight with you. I'll fight for you. I'll love you for everything left of forever and every lifetime we get." Oh my god, inject it in my veins. And then on the inside, this is like the, what is that called? End papers. It's like a bunch of little quotes from the book. It's so good. It's literally so good. And then it just has the same thing on the back. And then these are the sprayed edges. It's just so cute. It's just so cute. I cannot wait to reread this book. It was so good. But yeah, I just couldn't believe that I ended up getting this in the same vlog that I was talking about it. So very exciting book mail. Another thing that happened while I was gone, I very impulsively went and got the other side of my nose pierced. So ever since I got, wait, which side did I get pierced? This side first, I think. I went and got this side of my nostril pierced. I think it was in March, I'm pretty sure. It was healing really, really well for like the first month. And then like a month after I had it, I have this blanket, okay? This is my, don't make fun of me, okay? This is my baby blanket. I call it my white blankie. She's literally so used and abused. I can see you through here, but you know what? She's staying with me until the day I die. I literally use this when I sleep every single night. But anyway, so like a month after I got my nose pierced, Mark had tossed me this blankie and it got caught on my nose ring and it was pierced with like a little L bar and it ripped fully out. Yeah, so it ripped fully out and then I struggled so hard to get it back in. And ever since that moment, I had a huge trauma bump on my nose. I don't know if anyone ever noticed it because I tried really hard to just like cover it up because it just bothered me so much. But yeah, that lasted from March all the way to 2 or 3 weeks ago. Honestly, like it was so hard to get it to go away. But finally, she was gone and I took that as my sign to finally go and get the other side pierced because originally my plan was to get this one pierced, wait like 3 months and then go and get this side pierced. But I was like, I'm not going back until this trauma bump is gone because I just felt like that was so embarrassing to go in for another piercing because if I was the piercer, I would look down and be like, girl, why are you getting another piercing when this one is like struggling so bad? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, no, that's so embarrassing. I'm gonna have to wait until this bump is gone. So the bump was finally gone. I very impulsively went and got the other side done. So right now I just have the 2 little like studs in it. I switched this one back to like a super basic, I think I did like titanium or something because it had the bump and I was like, I feel like it just needs like a super sensitive skin friendly metal. But yeah, because I do have really sensitive skin as well. Like I have, this is such a tangent, I'm not gonna go into that actually, but so I switched it. So they're both just like little studs. I honestly don't love the look of them right now with just the 2 studs, but it's just like, if you're a piercing girly, you understand. Sometimes you just have to take one for the team and like keep your ugly jewelry so that they can heal and then you can have cute jewelry. So that's kind of the stage that I'm in. I have my septum and then both sides. Eventually, once these are both healed, I think I'm gonna try a little like nose stack where I do a stud on this side, either a little pearl. I do have like an L-bar pearl that I got from Etsy, but now that this one has had issues, I'm a little bit nervous to like put in a piercing from Etsy because I just don't know what materials it's made out of, and I will just be so sad if a piercing bump comes back on the side after finally getting it to go away. So I don't know about that, but I'll probably do like a little stud on this side, a pearl, or just like a little, if I can find like a titanium gold gold stud or something like that. I'm such a gold girly. It's like really bothering me that I have silver right now on both of these, but I'm gonna do that on this side, and then I think I might do a little gold hoop on this side, and then I might switch my septum ring, because right now I have two, I don't even know if you guys can see, because like I put in super thin ones. I used to have this one right here. Actually, I switched it to my ear. I had this ring in my nose, and it's quite a bit thicker and also bigger, so I feel like it was more noticeable, but I took it out and put it in my ear instead because I have this hole from whenever I had my industrial. I used to have my industrial pierced on this side, but the kids were way younger and they both have really curly hair, and it kept getting stuck in my piercing and keeping it from healing. So I took the top part out, and I've always planned on just going back to get this top part re-pierced to redo my industrial once they were older and I'm like carrying them around less, because they'll just be around my head way less. Another tangent. That's crazy. Anyway, so I want to switch my septum to like a tiny little gold. I don't actually know what that style is called, but like, you know, just like the regular typical septum piercing where it's like the bull nose ring or something like that, but just a tiny one that kind of like hugs the inside, like not a super dangly one. So I want to do that with a stud and a hoop probably. And then I'll start working on my ears again. So I'll probably start with my industrial again, just because the bottom half is already pierced. So I feel like maybe it'll be half easier. I don't know. So yeah, I went and did that. We also got a new mattress randomly. I had mentioned to my dad that my back pain was getting so bad. I have a tiny, like the tiniest little bit of scoliosis in my lower back. And so I just have really bad back pain, because it's not really enough to like do anything for, but it's like a tiny little curve in the bottom of my back that is like enough to cause really excruciating back pain. And the mattress that we were sleeping on was just a mattress that my aunt and uncle had given me and Marky like 6 years ago. So she had served her purpose. She had her time to shine, and now it was time for her to go. So whenever I was telling my dad that, he decided to let me pick a memory foam mattress, and he ordered it and got it sent to our house. So we have a brand new memory foam mattress, and I've been sleeping like an actual baby. My bed is so comfortable. It's like heaven in here, honestly. Lots of random things. That's why this vlog, I'm literally just going to title it like Chronically ADHD Mood Reader Tries to Vlog, because what is going on? I feel like this is the most just random vlog that I filmed in a really long time. But you know, sometimes I need that. Sometimes I just need to like live my beautiful chaotic life and share it with you guys. So that's what we're doing. Also today I did my very first live stream over on Patreon. I was so nervous about it, but everything went really well. We did some reading sprints this morning, and I did kind of make a few little like technical errors, but like that's to be expected. Overall, I'm proud of how it went. If you guys ever want to be part of the reading sprints or the live streams or anything like that, the link to the book club will always be in my description box below if you want to join. But yeah, I did that today. So just lots of random but also really fun and exciting things. Book mail, nose piercing, new mattress, live streams, lots going on. So I think I'm done yapping and I'm finally ready to read The Rose Bargain. I'm going to put on some reading ambiance, lay back in my new memory foam mattress, and then injure myself with the ending of this book. I don't know that I'm ready, but I need to finish it. So let's do it. Okay, well, I just finished The Rose Bargain, It's gonna be a 5-star for me. Oh, that was so good. The ending was so painful. I should have seen it coming, honestly. That was so good. 5 stars. I literally have nothing else to say. That was just so good. The romance, the world that it was set in, like I loved the vibes of the fae and like the fairies, the magic, the plot twists, the secrets and lies. It was just so good. Highly recommend Rose Bargain if you have not read it so far. I looked it up. The second book comes out April 16th, I think, of 2026. So that's sad, depressing, and painful. Definitely one of my favorite YA books that I've read. That was just so good. Highly recommend. You should definitely read this, especially if you like YA that feels like The Cruel Prince. Oh, such good romance, semi-love triangle, betrayal, fairies, magical bargains. So good. But with that being said, I think this is where I'm going to end the vlog. This is where I need to end the vlog because this has been going for so long. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss future content from me. Also, if you are interested in joining the Bookaholics Anonymous book club, the link to the Patreon is always down in my description box below, so you can click that and join the book club for the first 2 months of the book club, so until the end of November. If you join the Lost Cause tier, you will get a 3-pack of custom Bookaholics Anonymous book club bookmarks as well. It's like a tongue twister. But yeah, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!